Good day and good evening, and welcome back to Daily Roulettes with me, Chaiji, but you can just call me Kai. So, the way this works is we will be going through most of the daily roulettes. We will be skipping over main scenario, guild tests, mentor, and frontline, and then we will see where that leaves us. Apparently, I got the alliance, like the weekly alliance raid, already done this week thanks to a weird mentor roulette lucky shot. So we're probably not doing that. Then we'll see what we do. And the way that it works in practice is that just about when I'm going to do the roulette, I will walk over to one of these platforms and I'll be like, if you want to join me for so and so roulette, come on over to me. And then you just run over to me if you want to join. And I write down all of the names and then I grab 3. At first I might pick like the first 3 to arrive, but I write down everyone. So if you're like, oh, I won't make it because like I have a longer stream delay than others, so I will always be late. If you actually come over, I write your name down, and if you keep coming over, I will be like, I will see people that already had a turn, right? Or people that came later than you, and pick you even though you didn't come first. Because you're in, like, I wrote you down. So it's not just first come, first serve. And I'm explaining this in detail because last time I learned that some thought it was. And that's not how it is. Especially because I know myself that if it was first come, first serve, like if I was a participant, I'd be like, oh, what's the point? It's never gonna be me. I'm too slow. Why would I do that? So why would I host something like that myself? Now, on that note, hey Kaj, hey Ardell, hey Telema, hey Silly, hey Mizo, hey Shaq, hey Agent Monica, hey Lana. Thank you for the fish, Mari. Hey Rust, hey Volter, hey Crusher, hey Alice, hey Glaceon, hey Ilya, hey Jet, hey Strat, hey Retro Gaming, hey Gassel, hey Cat, and hey Nox, and hey ZipZap. Hope you're all doing very well. We got a Mudfish, not to be confused with a Mudkip. But that is the plan. You're on the Zodiac Brave weapon step. Nice. Wow. The overlay really scammed you there, Ilana. However, it looks like it is catching the stream streak messages now, so that's at least something. But 180? Closing in on like a half a year of worth of streaks. Right then, you know me, hope you're doing well. If you would like to join me for Expert Roulette, come on over to me. Oh boy. Please don't run away. Please don't run away. I'm writing down names. I think I got everyone. No, I didn't. Now I got everyone. It's a lot of people. We need a 3rd platform already. It's crazy. Hey, Boobamet. Hope you're doing well. 4 teams? Possibly. Hey, classified. Hope you're doing well. Oh, they're already dead. Well then. Hey, Mesonite. Time to chort it up? Yeah, in a little bit. Chort it up. Ha! Everything chorts!
Sight for sore eyes. Appreciate the help.
Yeah, that is definitely the big blast party, and Sim that can't even get the reinforcement. We're too powerful. Does your bloodlust know no limits? No, it doesn't. Eye of the Scorpion needs to get punched. Needs to know his place. Since when does the AoE melee combo only cost 50? Since they made it into a real 1-2-3 combo, Gassel. Which I believe they did with Dawntrail. Hey Minog, hope you're doing well. Isn't this the first example of a Void Sent possessing a War Machina? I think that has to do with the leader of these Void Sent in this case. But I do think you're right. That means I'm guessing the Diablo's armament does not quite count. Oh, right. And if that's the case, then that would be the second time. I don't know. Is there something special about the armament? Very nice, Menard. Oh, yeah, I don't know either, Naomi. It's been so long. Hey, Jace. Ugh. The Jester's Reap. So a random funny thing yesterday is that in Fellowship, which some of you have seen me play on the channel, this season they added this thing called a Pinnacle Dungeon, which is just like a harder dungeon meant to be to be really challenging, where the timer isn't important and things like that. Like, it's just a harder dungeon. I would almost say that it's supposed to be more like a raid boss, but it's still 4 players. I ran it for the first time yesterday with Rust and Cobalt and Nox. So community, of course. A really funny thing is that around the launch of the season, there was this weird patch note where we read that they had removed or massively nerfed a specific mechanic on the boss. On the final boss specifically, which was that the boss actually gained a damage boost for each dead player on the field. Which is something that we've something like that is something that we have talked about in terms of like Final Fantasy XIV, in the context of, is there a way we could make it more balanced that tanks are basically unkillable in a lot of content? Like, what if the boss just becomes impossible to deal with if your party is dead, right? Like, that is one way to do it. But they nerfed it to the degree that I don't think that I at least don't think it has that ability on the normal difficulty, and we were looking over a guide, it wasn't mentioned. So I guess they removed it. But this was relevant because after we had been proccing on that boss for, I would say, like a solid 45 minutes or something like that, we had a try where both of our DPS died in like the first third of the fight. And then we just duoed the rest of the fight because there wasn't like a DPS check or anything. Which I thought was really funny. And was entirely by accident that we ended up duoing it. It was like, we suddenly had a try where mechanics just went correctly. There were some really interesting mechanics in that dungeon. What happened, Taldemar? Oh, missed the stream start again. Ah. That is unlucky. Three out of 3 in a single week. And it says, question regarding how you choose who goes. What if someone doesn't have the roulette unlocked? Like, expert or max level. Are they supposed to go on the platform anyway or not? That's usually not a problem that comes up. But it is more and more recently becoming a problem that within the, like, right at the start of the stream, I get a queue of, like, 15 people, and I'm like, oh, well, assuming everyone shows up, then that's, like, that's most of the roulettes for the rest of the stream. I would say if someone stepped on the platform and I randomly picked them and they're like, oh, actually, I don't have that specific roulette, I guess we would take it there and be like, that's a little weird. But I do see how it's like, how would you be in the queue if you're not on the platform from the start, right? So I would say in that case, you just do that. But that is a good question. Hey, sure, sugar. Hope you're doing well. Tommy says, I see I am handicapping myself by not being that stream start. It's not necessarily that bad. A thing that is also a little bit of an issue that I have thought about is that, you know, I try to grab people that have, like, I haven't brought for this, in that stream yet, right? Which means that when we get to, like, trials and raids, then if there's, like, 7 people that haven't, like, joined yet, then they just get in there, right? And usually I end up catching everyone that remains at that point. Hey, Miss Kigurumi, hope you're doing well. And thank you so much for the sub. Now for something different. Kigurumi. The Kai army. Hey, Ham. The Kaimi, if you will. No, that doesn't work. Did you know Warrior can clear Caetsu Sig solo? Yeah, I have heard. Time to pull the string. Oops. Mistimed me going in there. Congratulations, Minag! I'm glad to hear that, Kigurumi. Thank you so much. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not trying to think too hard on how all this planning with dailies work. I just wanted to play with y'all. So I'm like more worried that people will be like, I'll just not show up until later so that I can get the roulette that I wanted to play. Like, we gamifying gaming with me. And if it is about getting some daily roulettes done, then I think we are all getting a bunch of stuff done with the sheer amount of people that we are. We get multiple groups running. You only just got to Dawntrail now? Right. I mean, the worst case is that someone doesn't have the roulette unlocked. I think we have tried in the past that I put together a group for normal raids, and when I tried to queue, it didn't work. Because one person was missing, like Alexander. Hey, fat man. Did Lions Raid Roulette... Oh, there was a hype train started. I didn't even see. Wow. The sneaky hype train. The Alliance Raid Roulette part of the Aetherwell filling step is Misery and OCE. Yeah, I heard that. I remember when that entire relic step was revealed, OZE screamed in agony and everyone speed ran getting it done because they knew the moment it was gone, or like the moment people finished it, it was gonna be really difficult to get it done. Nago dance! Did everyone return? Hey, Gluon! Was there a team 4? I guess not. Right then, if you'd like to join me for level cap dungeons, come on over to me. There are so many people to invite. My lobster is too buttery. You're all so kind. I think I have everyone. Yes. Yeah. But that's okay, Alice. I don't really explain it in that much detail, and I guess there are a lot more questions to it. The important bit there is that if you did it wrong, I'm sure you know that I wouldn't be like... I wouldn't be mad. So it's not that dangerous. Team 3 got Meso Terminal. Wow. Hey Deadman, so should I use 14 as my virtual background for my all staff this afternoon?
If I smile, it is because you all smile for me.
Maybe. That might be pretty funny. Hey, there it is. Okay, doing well. So which dungeon is this? This is Alexandria. It's a level 100 dungeon. If you've completed the MSQ, you must have seen it. Kind of mismanaged that lane 9 placement. At least we can readjust it in the end. Batman says, I love how simple the 100 Black Mage AoE is. It's not that complicated once you know what to do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I misread the cross for some reason. Sorry about that, guys. Can you see that? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. A pangolin pancake. Oh.
You are my people, and I will protect you.
A wizard waffle.
The painful memories of war I lay to rest.
Foreign entities detected. Proceeding with removal.
Am I that special, Alice? Well, thank you. The celebrity lizard. Man, the Zack boy. People. They sure are something. Are you sure you want to qualify this as people? Hey, Kupamana. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Kotakis. You fought those in 13. Well, there you go. They chase you into my stream. They wanted a second chance. May we meet again. Your shortness.
Security breach confirmed. Initiating level 5 security.
Your shortness. Hey, tacos. Hope you're doing well. 20 seconds of no mechanic so that I can do my burst. Fantastic. Nice. Uh-oh.
Fear not. You will all live on. And at the last, my final endless.
It's like, I wonder if Evercold will have FF13 assets. Maybe. Maybe.
Detected. Initiating Caetsu protocol.
I mean, if they have the art style that they need, I think 13 has the advantage of being very futuristic, does it not? Virtus, I have a leveling guide. There are many ways to level in 14. The generally most efficient is doing your roulettes and then spamming the highest level dungeon available. But if you can find a way that you think is more fun, even if it's slower, it's probably more effective because you'll actually do it rather than forcing yourself to sit through a method that you think is boring. Yeah, the newest version of my leveling guide has a dragoon, or 2 dragoons technically, in the thumbnail. But I have multiple versions because, you know, updates.
Initiating level 9. Activate components. Engage.
Thank you, Erdl. Erdl posted a link if you had trouble finding a Virtus. Huh?
Attempting removal via incision.
Did you rescue me from melee range, Nox?
Attempting removal via incision.
That's pretty fun. You know, the weirdest part is I don't even think it stopped my cast.
Removal failed. Commencing extermination.
I didn't even know it could work like that.
Attempting extermination via multiple armaments.
Exterminate. Exterminate. Ow.
Commencing final attack sequence. Attempting annihilation via high-powered energy discharge. Energy accumulation complete. Initiating final attack protocol.
Ow. I forgot to look behind me. I was so shocked by how I managed to get 2 generators down to exactly like 1% HP. Like, how do I deal with that without wasting damage? You don't. You just cry. Auto attacks. Walter, have you seen how weak my auto attacks are? Yeah. The humble skate go unused. I mean, that would be not very efficient, would it? If only Scathe didn't cost 800 MP. That 1% might be 1 HP. It wouldn't be when it could have shown 0.1 in that case, right? But I see your point. But that would have been a way if Scathe actually was free, then there might be something there. No, 'cause it's hard to mess with people that don't like being messed with. Yeah, I guess that's true. There's also the part that it's probably not as fun to mess with someone who's not gonna mess back in return. Exactly, Strat. That is really the problem, is that Scathe is so bad that choosing to use it tends to put you in a worse spot, regardless of whether it succeeded at what you wanted it to do. Is everyone back? Oh, yeah. There were 4 teams. Hey, Wolfkin! Nice 35 streak! That was a scathing comment. Right. If you'd like to join me for high-level dungeons, come on over to me. Checking the names, checking the names. Yep, I think I got everyone. But I do also see that I will barely get through the whole list. I think. Oh boy. I always feel bad that I can't bring more. Will it be a full 3 alliance queue for alliance raid? I don't think so. We do need more platforms, that's for certain. Could always include a mosquito roulette too. I feel like that would almost be like a punishment. Like, oh boy, would you like to join for that? Team 2 got Hero's Gauntlet. Oh, double Shadowbringers dungeon. Hey, Brett Bean. And Zarf. Hope you're doing well. Team 3 got Phil Color Troya. Nice. Very nice. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Damage. Ow. He hit me. He punched me. That sounds hopeful. Zaf. Hope you get it. Oh. Well, there is a safe spot. Doink. 0. Oh, right. This mechanic. Nice aim. That could be an idea, VHs. It's like a whole ton of content that you get to re-experience for the first time. Hey Vibes, hope you're doing well. Hole in two. True. Yep. This party is definitely the 2-minute burstiest of them all. We've arrived with all of our cooldowns. Enemies just get completely annihilated. Right, now what with the rest of our burst cooldowns? What do we do now? We've only had an Astro. I think that wouldn't make it faster. We're level 80. The Astro does not have Oracle. But the Sage has 2 Flemmas for the big burst. Maybe a White Mage with Misery would be stronger. But other than that, I don't think we can do much better on the healer side of things at this level. Snake Zodi! The knockback cancelling is fun. Go! Steam, I choose you! Smack him! Smack him! Divination and Astro would help though, wouldn't it? And the problem is that the Astrologian has to pay its own damage budget to have such a cooldown, Zeno. So having everyone else do 6% more damage in a 4-man party, not as valuable. That is why you typically see in like speedrun groups that you will see jobs that do a ton of burst damage in dungeon contexts. Because they like rate buffs are scaled around the assumption that you'll have 8 people benefiting. I mean, it's not so, like, it's not something that is clearly communicated. It's just that, as you probably know, Astrologian's personal damage output is lower than White Mage and Sage's. Same with Scholar, its personal damage output is lower than Sage's because it has a rate buff. And that rate buff is, of course, balanced, like, all of that is balanced around the assumption that 7 other people will benefit from it. So typically, it's better to have jobs that don't have rate buffs if you're trying to optimize. Unless the job already does a ton of damage, without accounting for the rate buff, like something like Pixomancer. That just happens to like get so much value out of the run between bosses that it's still really strong. Admittedly, in a speedrun context, you wouldn't bring a healer if you can help it. But making the 2 DPS in the tank do like 6% more damage, something like that, is probably not as impactful as having a healer that can do a couple GCDs that hit for like double the damage. In the context of something like Misery. That's at least how I see it. And that is part of the whole thing with balancing jobs. Is like rate buffs. How do you make them fair and balanced when the amount of people that will benefit from said rate buffs can vary? You could make it so that the how concentrated the effect is, like how strong it is, depends on how many people are there to benefit, and that's also a little bit weird. But that could be a way to do it. And that just further adds to that whole, like, balance conversation in regards to 2-minute bursts. Just have a red mage for the occasional heal and burst. What often happens is that people just bring, like, a warrior. And yeah, exactly, Insano. Ninja and Scholar being able to apply their raid buffs to the target instead of the party, meaning that their limit is, like, 24 instead of 8. Hey, Maxo. Hope you're doing well. And that's true. In before someone mentions the return trick in this dungeon. The return trick that saves 0 time. I think if everyone is doing it, you can save like a couple seconds. But it is something people get so caught up on, the potential time save. It's a classic. Ah, well, sad salted earth noises. A Mother Porksy ultimate. Exactly, Talima. The worst part about the return trick in this dungeon is that a lot, like, the fact that it saves you non-zero time has led some people to, like, actually, like, raise a bit of a fuss about it. And yeah, that's true, Zarf. Hawk Manor had that one too. With the you have to teleport to the back to spawn. And that's why they added a portal. I think it was in Endwalker they added a portal, so you could just click it. I think that is a really funny mechanic. We have to get shoved up into the air to see the safe spot. Good luck, Talima! Insane says, I do wish there were more chaotic parties, but you pretty much never see them now, aside from pre-made parties on Discord. I believe the main problem there... Hey, Bronzo! I believe the main problem there is that it takes so much to set up a group to begin with, and people are so finicky and just leave if it doesn't go perfectly. Like, people ran into all those problems when the chaotic was new, and then got, like, almost, like, outright allergic to having to deal with that, which I think is understandable. I wouldn't want to sit through the potential hours of seeing a group go together, and when you finally have it, you do 2 pulls and then someone leaves. Phantom Texan says, I have a tank gearing question. I just got to 50 with my Dark Knight, and I'm going through the Heavensward MSQ. Do I need to worry about farming for Poetics to get the 130 gear to start with, or just go through the MSQ and worry about gear later once I get to max level? That depends on how bad your gear is right now, Phantom Texan. If you if you reached Heavensward as a tank, so you already have some gear, right? And you've been doing your job quest, then as you do your main quest, you will be offered coffers and gear and stuff that will keep you up to date. You should have like 115 gear and things like that from the MSQ, at least, as you're going through the like Heavensward MSQ. If you've been using that, then you're good. But if you're like, oh yeah, I haven't been using any of it, I am actually wearing underpants, then yeah, you do need some gear. Mason Knight says you don't get level 50 gear for Dark Knight from job quests. That's true, which is why I'm talking about the MSQ gear. What's the rest of your gear at? The other gear I have is at 115. Oh, then you're fine. If you go, as you go through the MSQ, you will be offered more gear. That will keep you keep you up to date. Yeah, the reason why I have to check Phantom Texan is because you said Dark Knight, which means you changed job. If you had said, like, Warrior or Paladin, I would be like, well, have you made sure to, like, pick the tank options when you've been being offered gear? Like, yeah, the A Realm Reborn main quest, like, kind of skips over accessories a lot. I don't know if Heavensward does that too, but if your item level is 115 and you keep picking the tank option as you go, you shouldn't have a problem. And you just go from there. It's also worth mentioning, if you just started on the MSQ, that the first dungeon will appear at like level 53. There is one optional one that you can end up picking up if you like do side content. But the first mandatory duty is 53. So you have some time to get some gear if you didn't have it. But I would say that 130 is fine. Like from level 50 to 59. It will, like around 55, you will start to find things tougher, because like item level 130 gear is technically level 53 gear. But, you know, you can overcome that by just being super skilled. And it is acceptable. Then you hit level 60 and then you can like get better gear from there. Ah, right. Yeah. ARF may be tough if you're still at 130. But again, if you're doing the MSQ, you'll be offered gear and you'll be doing dungeons, and that will give you gear. I have not glue on. I might do it later. Why are you asking? Say, Sean? Right, anyway, I will be right back, and then we keep going. Thank you for the gifted sub, Phantom Texan. Thank you so much. Anyway. Meantime. Manatee restored. Oh. 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 Alright, I'm back. Did something special happen in the Rising event since I'm being asked if I've done it? Let's see you! Spoilers. Oh no, Yoshi Pete talks to us. Anyway, as a guest star. Oh. Well, how about this? If we're done with the roulettes early enough, I could do it on stream. How about that? Anyway, if you'd like to join me for leveling roulette, come on over to me. Oops, all C names? Nah. Barely not, I suppose. Ooh, hammer! We have the glowy hammer, by the way. We got him. Double Babel. Oh yeah. That's Team 3 got it too. Idiots, as I ran this dungeon way too many times just for glamour. Uh-oh. I can't even remember what the gear from here looks like. Is it like a wintry galleon? The monk weapon for steampunk glam. Arr. Can't you guarantee that it drops? Like, if you specifically run the dungeon as a striking job, you will be given a piece of striking gear every run. And when there's only the weapon left, it will give you that if you have everything else, right? I mean, that is still 11 runs. Hey honey, hope you're doing well. You need either to yourself have a level appropriate crafter, or you need another player that has the crafter to do it for you. NPCs cannot help you. You are welcome. Yes, it definitely took me more than 50 runs when I was farming a Matoya's Relic. The Matoya's dungeon. The difference, Gazel, is that Matoya's is not a leveling dungeon. It has to be one of those dungeons that are leveling dungeons where they just, like, at the end of the dungeon, they just, like, carefully sneak a piece of equipment into your back pocket, and you're like, huh, I didn't even know I picked this up. It has to be that. And it will always give you a piece of equipment that the job you cleared the dungeon with can use. And one that you don't already have. Going to do any raiding today? No, today is daily roulettes. Annie. Savage is on Saturday. I mean, we will do daily normal raids, roulette. But we Savage raid on Saturday. Yeah, it's not very well explained, but it is nice to know if you're farming for something specific, Ilya. And it is annoying that they didn't do it for... Oh, that's a sad story muse. It is annoying they didn't do it for, like, quote-unquote max level dungeons. They might as well. What I mean, Ham, I did say on Saturday in this case. Because this week it's Saturday. But today is chill dailies. Pew, pew, pew. Means this is mob proof nobody reads the schedule. Oh man. Some people do. Some people look at it. Yeah, that is true, as Mesonite says. That whole trick with gear from leveling dungeons does require that the gear is in your inventory, and the reason why it will eventually give you the item you want is because it will give you something that it can hand you if it's possible. And because gear from dungeons are unique, if you have the rest of the set in your possession on your person, then it can't hand you anything except the item you want. So you do need to have it either here or here. Yeah, I don't know. Guzzle, it could even be a case of tradition when it is with 14. You know how it goes. I've always done it like that. It is funny that that minimize effect makes you do like 10% less damage or something like that. It's such a small difference, despite you being like a 20th of the size. With this damage, are we skipping the frog phase? Yep, just barely. Almost feels like Pathfinder 1E where Tiny makes you have +1 AC. Yeah, exactly. Tradition isn't that bad. Streamline can help increase efficiency. Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying that it feels like there's a lot of things in 14 where the best possible explanation of why it is the way that it is because that has always been like that. And that's like the start and end of the conversation. Like that was the reason. In full. I'll say Mystic Man and Sean. Hope you're doing well. I will say, Mystic Man, that if it was in Roulettes, like those mechanics would be brutally hard. I don't think you'd want them in normal raid Roulettes and things like that. I don't think you would. But I'm glad you had fun. I could see that, Mystic Man. That would make sense. It would be nice if they did consider that. An easier version of the Coils of Bahamut, like a new added difficulty, specifically to be easy enough to put in normal raid roulettes. I think that would be nice. It's funny that, just because my solution to that is that I've specifically gone into the settings and made it so that gear always lands in my regular inventory when I get it. So I will never have like random junk appear in my armory chest. I will only have items that I actually meant to put there. And then I'll like sort things in my normal inventory to figure it out. And that is a setting. Yep. Yeah, it's not because my my armory chest is super overfilled that I keep getting gear into that. It's just because I made it so. I have more than one, but I have some videos specifically on like settings and configurations in 14 where I like rigorously go through everything so you can find possibly interesting things. But yeah, all of the inventory stuff is here under items. That's unfortunate, Masonite. It can be it can be like that sometimes with the relic weapons. Sorry. The classic loot in the middle of a boss fight. Laser blast on our faces. Ow! Yeah, that was anima. And that is indeed a boss that makes that dungeon impossible to solo for warrior synced. Because its DPS check is too tight. They can't teach you about the elegance still? I mean, it's in heaven. I mean, I think what Mystic Man is saying is that a lot of that teaching is happening, like, later in the story. I do see what you mean. Did everyone get back? I guess. I'm glad to hear that, Virtus. You know, the funny thing is, Mystic Man, back in the day, Crystal Tower wasn't required at all. The reason why Crystal Tower is required now is because, without having cleared it, there is a... I will try to not be too specific in case it would spoil you, but there is a bit of a problem with the timeline if you haven't completed it later in the story. Which is the reason why they eventually made it mandatory. Because at some point in the story, they actually made that all the things that happen in Crystal Tower necessary for the story to make sense. So you kind of have to have done it. Was it clean? Right. I think we'll do trials and normal raids back to back. So if you'd like to join me for those, for trials and normal raids, come on over to me. Well, I mean, they're essentially using the main quest to kind of let you gradually unlock access to everything so it doesn't overwhelm you. But you do kind of have to, like, go and look for things a bit yourself. I do get what you mean, that it's a little bit weird that they don't even as much as mention that Palace of the Dead is a thing that exists and things like that. And yeah, like, how would they actually go about, like, showing you all those things? It would likely be by them going, oh, it's mandatory now. And then it suddenly is not fun. Let's just say that we have actually seen what happens to content when they make it mandatory when people didn't want it. In a way. Like, in Endwalker, they made a very long, optional piece of story content called Hildebrand. Sort of, quote-unquote, mandatory, because it was needed for relic progression. And the people that have just in the past avoided the content have been like, well, I don't have to do it, so I'll just not do it. Now they felt like they had to do it, and oh boy, they were not happy. And I will say, just from experience, if the MSQ was like, oh, by the way, there is this thing called Palace of the Dead that you could go and do, like they said it in the story in some way, a lot of players would not realize that that was what was being told to them unless the game actively grabbed their hand and dragged them all the way over to the front door and went, this is what we mean. So that is also the reason why when we're like, whenever people mention they should like highlight it more, we kind of jump to the conclusion of, are you saying that you want to make it mandatory? Is because that would be the way to make people notice it. If it's just mentioned offhandedly, then it doesn't change anything. Cat says, I do think the game really needs an NPC who could ask... actually, that is a good point. It would be pretty cool if they added, like, an NPC, or even, like, a easily findable menu where it could, like, guide you to some examples of content that you could do. That would be cool. Kansas 14 kind of expects you to read patch notes and other new content. That's true. That is true. They had a new like random objective or like random thing to unlock, and the way that you know about it is that like they mention the coordinates of where the NPC is somewhere in the patch notes, and then you just go there, and lo and behold, the NPC is there. A case in point, if you want to be ready for Beastmaster, you should probably make sure to check the patch notes when it comes and see where to park your character the day before. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know that one, Echo Dance, but that doesn't really do anything, does it? Oh, right. Movement. Oops. You're doing O4S tomorrow? Probably sure. Nice. I hope it goes well. It says, I was under the impression that all blue quests unlock something. It's technically, yes. The asterisk to that is to give you an example, Virtus. In an expansion, at the start of it, there might be like a handful of side quests that lead to nothing. Like, it's straight up just like a yellow side quest. It's just, there's a little bit of story here. But like, the story ends with like some implication that something more is gonna happen. Like, for instance, there's this budding idea of like this merchant's guild or something starting in one of the Dawntrail zones and things like that. And you're like, okay, is that leading somewhere? No, not at the start. And then like later down the line in the expansion, they add an allied society that is that merchant's guild or something. I can't remember the exact details, but I think you get where I'm going with this. When that is added, they turn the quests that unlock access to that content. They become blue quests because they technically unlock an allied society, which in turn unlocks access to emotes and music and sometimes outfits and mounts and minions. So technically it unlocks something. It's just that the thing that it unlocks is like, here's your gift, open it, more work. But at the start of the expansion, such a quest would be yellow. It would turn blue when it actually is required for something. Jesus, and then there's also examples where it unlocks something like an allied society, but it's still a yellow quest, like in Heavensward. Indeed. Just randomly inconsistent. Hey, Nixie. Hope you're doing well. The problem with recommended quest window is that it's dependent on the class you are. I believe it's dependent on what class you are, where you are, and things like that. And that is true, Naomi. It's very likely that has more to do with them not actually doing it for Heavensward after they decided to do it, like, looking forward. Hey, Bruno! No idea there were Heavensward societies. There are allied societies for every expansion. They just have like varying degrees of useful rewards. For instance, A Realm Reborn has 5. And pretty much each of them has a mount. But every time there's a Mock Tome event, you can buy those mounts for that. So it's a lot easier to just get them there. The only reward you get for going through all of it, like maxing out all of them, is like a half mask. Like for your face, like a special mask you can wear, like, and it's a head slot. It's not a face accessory. It's a hat, and it's pretty tedious. Heavensward gives you like 3 different dance emotes, and at least 1 mount. Vath gives you a mount. Vano gives you gives you 2 dance emotes. Or actually, I believe Mughals give you a dance emote. Vano gives you a dance emote. And then completing all 3 gives you 1 more dance emote. Stormblood, I believe the Namatsu gives you an emote. And I believe you get another emote in the context of this. Shadowbringers gives you at least 1 emote and a mount. Endwalker gives you an emote. That's the one I use quite often, called Love Hop. You get that one from Endwalker. And I think, was it Dawntrail that gives you Navigate? But the point is, a lot of allied societies give you mounts and minions and emotes and all sorts of stuff. The A Realm Reborn ones are a little more scarce on those things. So if you were, like, if there was an expansion's worth of allied societies, you maybe should, like, wait till later with, I would say A Realm Reborn. They require the most time, and they give the least. For leveling though, aren't societies kind of decent? I only have 2 level 100 classes, so depending on actual grind, I could knock 2 birds with 1 stone. Again, Virtus, I do mention allied societies in my leveling guide. They are one of the better things to do while you wait for your queue to pop and things like that. But again, the A Realm Reborn allied societies suck so badly. Bad XP, more effort to do. So if you were to do allied societies for XP, don't do the A Realm Reborn ones. They barely give any, if they give any at all. But all the other expansions give decent XP. They just like their XP scales up to the max level of the expansion. So for instance, the Heavensward combat tribe quests or allied society quests will give good XP for level 51 to 60. But when you hit level 61, it will still give you a level 60 package, because it doesn't scale higher than that. And then I believe the Crafter and Gatherer ones just give you 1000 XP if you're out leveling it for some reason. No worries, I was just mentioning that is also in the guide, actually. It is a thing that I recommend doing. Anyway, the last thing on my list here is Alliance Raids Roulette. So if you would like to join for that, come on over to me, and then we will see how many we are. Can I get you to dismount for that UFO so I can see what I'm doing here? I'm counting 15. I'm counting 15. So we would need a 7 and an 8 party. Who would like to be leader of team 2? Gazel is doing team 2. Fantastic. I'll grab 2 people here, and then if you make the 7 stack, then we should be fine. We have Strat, Ilana, and Rust to come over. Strat being nice. Gazel, have you invited Myers Heavers? Why in? I don't know if it was an accident and Myers didn't actually want to join for Alliance raids. Right. In that case, I think... and we will do it like this. Remember, you can have 1 tank, 2 healers. Team 2 has done a ready check. Good. Yeah, the gobbo cheese, that's Costa del Sol, right? The beach episode. We did it! Although I think Zip Zap missed. Zip Zap says it didn't pop. Oh, it looked on my screen like it poofed out of existence. Hello, IQ. Hope you're doing well. Well, let's just say, Riches, that for a lot of people, they get into into an MMO to play with other people, and a large part of the MSQ experience of 14 may feel like it's not going to be that. So for a lot of people, suggesting that the game that the good part starts long before that is an option may feel like how do I put it? Like a fake out, I guess. I'm also not a fan of it gets good after this long. Hopefully you will think that it is already fun early enough that, you know, that you don't have to be like, well, when do we get to the good bit? But I do get what you mean. Hey, Shaq. Sup? Da 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 da. Thank you. I don't know, Brontom. I do not know. Getting really lucky with the procs, actually. No worries, Nox. Hope it gets better soon. Reload. Nah. Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see that, Mystic Man. I also think just generally, if you approach the content with a like more open mind, then there's a very good chance that you'll enjoy it more. And like, this isn't even exclusive to 14. I have had experiences with games where I'm like, if I'm in one mindset, I'll be like, this is all stupid, dumb. And then on a different day, I'll be like in a completely different in a completely different mood, and then suddenly it's all awesome, right? That definitely can also help. And that's also why I try my best to give things a fair shot in 14. Mahjong? Now I'm an addict. Yeah, I tried Mahjong, and I feel like I aged like a couple years in that like 30-minute game. Not gonna try that again. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that you feel that way, Zaf. I can't imagine you speedrunning the game so many times if you didn't feel like that. But I also don't mind the experience. As I said, I think a major part of it is the mindset, which is also why it is a bit of a problem with the it gets good after this long, because it means that when you pick up the game, you will like approach the game from the get-go with the expectation, like the first impression that this is gonna suck because my friends told me it's gonna suck. So I'm just assuming that it will suck. And then it will suck. Say, Carol, hope you're doing well. Second time of an ice cube in this one raid. If you're enjoying the start, Carol, then you should have a good time. I don't think it gets worse. It just says people speedrun 14. That sounds fun to watch. In that case, you may enjoy tuning into Zav's stream sometimes. I think it's been a bit since he speedran, but I don't know if he still holds it, but Zav is like one of the top speedrunners of 14 presently. Zav says, I'm going to speedrun the whole game next month. There you go. And hey, Manos Henry, hope you're doing well. Carol says, I hate the idea of speedrunning. Then you have the fortunate possibility of not tuning in. That is also an option. Oh, that's what you meant, Carol. I also tend to prefer just taking my time with it. I feel like I can appreciate like trying to do a task really fast, but the general concept of speedrunning, I feel like it suddenly gets too stressful. I do get that. Metricon says, also it's still weird to me as someone who played when AR was current that the sentiment is that it sucks, when at the time it was hailed as an actually good MMO story. That's also a good point. And I feel like, I think the problem is that in actual, when ARR was current, the pace of the story was, I guess, appropriate. Like the pace at which you would progress through it. And then as time has passed, and you know, things have become, like, things have started going faster and things like that. As Metricon says, I think people expected slower things in MMOs back then. Also very likely. No worries, Kotakis. Welcome back! I think what we will do now is I will be right back, and then we'll check out the Rising event that is here now. Right? Time. Manatee restored. Alright, I'm back. Right, where is the event this time? Good luck, Zaf. Limsa. Fantastic. Thank you very much. I don't know how long the event takes. But, if we finish it, I don't know. Maybe we'll do MSQ roulette. Ooh. An event going on? Yeah, the Rising is a special event where they celebrate Final Fantasy XIV itself. And it's like a yearly one. Every year. And fun fact, the Wandering Minstrel, who is the guy that gives out most extreme duties and whatnot, is supposed to be a character that is like a it's supposed to be Yoshi P. He's kind of supposed to be very reminiscent of Yoshi P. That's the point. That's the joke. Noise Crusher. Well now, if it isn't my friend Caetsu, it is a pleasure to see you again, and a stroke of serendipity that it should be here and now. You see, just earlier I chanced to meet a woman who was looking for an acquaintance, being a visitor to Vilbrant. However, she struggles to make headway and could use the assistance of a reliable adventurer. If you're willing to provide your aid, I should be glad to compensate you for your troubles. I only ask that you share the details with me afterwards. As a minstrel, I am ever in search of inspiration for song, and much can be had during the Rising, when we remember the past even as we look to the future. So, what say you? Will you do me this favor? Hey, Floral Buns! I'm truly grateful. Without further ado, I bid you seek out the woman in question, a keeper of the moon garbed in red. She was making inquiries over at the Aft Castle, and is like to still be there. While you attend her, I shall be nearby taking in the observance. I look forward to hearing your report at the conclusion of your task. My god, a task! A familiar face, you say? Wow! It does look very much like Minfilia. Still not so much as a clue. Where could she have gotten to? Yes? Is there something? I am Saver of the Universe. Did you need help? The minstrel sent you to help me? Well, now, how very thoughtful of him. I must admit, I'm at my wit's end. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Brother Molko, a member of Orchestra Gridania, and as you've already heard, I'm searching for someone. Can I truly count on your aid? Savior of the Universe? Hello? Anyone? So, the person I seek is a woman named Annie Muili. I have to find her. I simply have to. For no particular reason. Why do you want to find her so badly? Why? Because she's my biggest rival, and I need to settle matters with her. Nimue is a musician like me, and we've been battling it out in exams and competitions for years now. Freakishly talented is Nimue. Looks carefree as you please, but no one immerses themselves in the music like her, and her expressiveness is second to none. As hard as I practice, more often than not, she'd get the better of me. But then she disappeared, just up and left, sometime after the calamity struck. It's a bit ago, Bathu. Did you just realize now? Word has it she became an adventurer, but it makes no sense. She had poured her life into music. Why would she suddenly cast it aside like 10 years ago? She hasn't been seen in Gridania since then, and for a while I'd feared the worst, but I didn't think to do anything about it for the past, like, I don't know, 10 years. But then an acquaintance involved in the rising told me that she's been seen in Limsa, and I made my way over as fast as I could. Not that I care for her or anything, Baka. I want to give her a piece of my mind, is all. Tell her to return to music and not waste her talents. That she's presumably been practicing on for 10 years or something. Well, I didn't care. But since arriving here, I haven't found a single clue. I'm not sure where to begin looking. Yeah, that does not leave much of a trail. The Adventurers Guild might know something. Indeed. In which case, we'll want to head to the tavern yonder. They're drowning something. Come on. They're drowning something. They should actually rename it to that. That would be so funny. You know me. Right. The Drowning Wench. That was the name. How macabre. Anyway, let's try speaking with the barkeep first. The Drowning censored by Nintendo. Hey, Darth. Well, if it ain't Caetsu, I'd ask what you having, but you don't look as though you're here for food and drink. What can I do you for, then? An adventurer at ale from Gridania, name of Animuili. Ah, right, the archer lass. I remember signing her up and seeing her running around these parts. Nani? Hey, Pixel. Hope you're doing well. That being said, we ain't supposed to divulge the particulars of guild members. Well, I suppose there's no harm in sharing a thing or two. After the calamity, we had no shortage of inquiries from missing persons, and I understand the pain of not knowing what's become of your own. Cut the music! Since signing up with the guild, Animuili's mainly taken on the little tasks, delivering packages, clearing away debris, and searching for people too. That's rather unexpected. I'd assumed adventurers did grander things like exploring new lands and solving mysteries. Otherwise, why would Nimue give up her life's passion? Some few adventurers embark on grand quests and accomplish great feats. Just true enough. Like, for instance, the main character-looking person right next to you. But most are content to make a difference in folks' everyday lives, and Nimue struck me as the sort that simply enjoyed helping others. You also have to remember, the calamity turned lives upside down. I expect she had her reasons for choosing a new path. Oh, man. Now then, if you want to track down your friend, the quickest way would be through her work. Or, late, she's taken on a bunch of jobs for the Rising, and old Lingseth was one of her clients. You could do worse than have a chat with the bloke. It's a fair distance to the Bismarck, and I'd hate for our visitor to run afoul of Limsa's less savory elements. Make sure she gets where she needs to go safely, eh? Hey, October, hope you're doing well. Now, good news for you, because on the channel, if you check the series featuring Small Kai, which is called Rewind Replay, I do in fact voice act everything in the MSQ while playing an alt. And once you hit the end of the story, I have done every single Dawntrail MSQ live as well, where I have voice acted it, but on my main. So you don't have to pay money for that. It's right here on YouTube for free. Which questline is this? This is the Rising event. Thank you, Bateron. I'll keep your words in mind. Don't mention it, lass. And whatever it is you intend afterwards, I pray you're able to reunite with Animuili. Yours your rap battle. I'd wanted to tell Nimue to give up adventuring and return to music, but now I'm not so sure. What led her to make a choice? By retracing her steps, perhaps I can understand her better. Indeed. I must say, it's amazing how quickly we managed to pick up her trail with your help. I'm also impressed that Bateron remembers the adventures he's met. Right, let's do as suggested and seek out Master Lingseth. Pray lead the way. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. French Principal Da. The Fresh Principal Da. My God, it's Shaq! And Rui! Rui! There are adventurers in this apothecary too, delivering herbs by the sounds of it. When you think about it, we rely on adventurers for many things in everyday life. That being said, no matter how essential the task, surely Nimue doesn't need to be the one to do them. She has incredible talent as a musician and loved being one. What could have happened to make her abandon her path? In before she's a bard. She was like, I could attack things with this. So this is the Bismarck. Did you know, Caetsu? This place is famous not only for its cuisine, but for hosting soirees with renowned musicians as well. It's a great honor to be invited to perform here, and Nimue and I used to make a big fuss about who would get the call first. Maybe she did this to sneak a foot in the door? Well now, you two have got questions written all over your faces. What is it you've been eating? Ah, yes, Animuili. Elder set up a stall for the Rising, she did. The festival's close to her heart, apparently, and she worked like a woman possessed. We finished in no time, thanks to her. I see. Did she mention where she was lodging, by any chance? Not to me, she didn't. She was also helping the Yellow Jackets with the fireworks, though, so mayhap you want to talk to Ayoyo over at the Coral Tower. The Keepers of the Peace and Limbs, Alaminsa? Thank you. We'll head there at once. Fantastic. Anyway, onwards. My God, it's Shaq again. Exactly, Mystic Man. Look, this is under NDA, but you look trustworthy, so here's something anyway. A yo-yo! Oh, if it ain't a kindly helper, Caetsu. What brings you to the Coral Tower this fine evening? A yo-yo! Aye, we had Animuili procure us some ingredients for the fireworks. Can't have too much of the flaming colors this time of year, as I'm sure you can appreciate. As I understand it, she wants to aid them as suffer in the calamity's wake, and was keen as mustard to be involved with aught to do with the Rising. Is that so? If you want to know where she is, I suggest you speak with Dorothea, the headmistress of Limlane Shawls, and Emily regularly lends her hand at the orphanage. When I chanced upon Dorothea earlier, she was on her way to have a cup of tea at the missing member, so she's like to be over the Aft Castle. If you can find her, might be as she can direct you to your friend. Bruh. She's a rival, not a friend. But I'll do as you suggest and look for Miss Dorothea. Thank you for the advice. Why does it matter, father? Get it right! I talked to a yo-yo, but she just went back and forth. Yeah, exactly. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Begging your pardon, but might you be Miss Dorothea of Limlane Shawls? That's me, all right. And who might you be? This is like trying to get technical support. Let me pass you on to this other team. Yeah, exactly. Friend. So that's the way of it. Willie's been doing all sorts of odd jobs for us, from making repairs around the place to procuring necessities. All the children adore her. Ain't that right, Archer? Nimuli always plays songs for us. Beautiful, soothing songs. What? She still performs even now? Surprised Pikachu face. Most of the little ones at the Shoals lost their families in the calamity. Years on, they still suffer from nightmares and anxiety. The music what Nimuli plays comforts them like nothing else. To know to do that, she herself must have known tragedy too. So she didn't abandon her passion, but rather shares it. Caetsu, at first I thought only to convince Nimuli to return to music. But now I understand why she made her choice. What she's doing is meaningful, and it wouldn't be right to tell her to give it up. So, what should I say to her when we meet? I'm at a complete loss. Now that's a good question, Bathu. What should you say? You're Nimuli's friend, right? Do you miss her? Now tell the child the truth. We're not friends, but rivals. That's right. Rivals. What's the difference? Go on. Tell me. What is the difference? Who am I fooling? To have her not only disappear, but take up a dangerous trade besides. I've missed her as well as feared for her. And when I imagine that I wouldn't be able to strive beside her or hear her music anymore, it's too much for me to bear. And when you find Nimuli, tell her you're glad to see her again. And yeah, you never know when a loved one will be taken from you, so make sure to leave naught unsaid. This is something as I've learned over the years. True. Now then, if you'd been bent on making Nimuli go back, then I would have feigned ignorance. But as it stands, I see no reason to hide her whereabouts. You'll find an ale port over in western Lanosia. The area was hit by the calamity, and she went there to do her bit. Take the ferry in front of the Fisherman's Guild. It sails straight to the port. I will. Thank you, both of you. Be seeing you. Bye. Fireworks. I have to run all the way over to the Fishers Guild. Bop, 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 bop. the course of searching for Nimuli, I've come to realize many things. For one, if I tried to make her go home, she isn't like to listen. Though, we'd probably end up shouting at each other and parting on bad terms. That's the last thing I want, and I'm truly grateful to you and everyone for opening my eyes. Now, just to confirm, but you're coming to Aleport too, yes? I'm starting to feel a little nervous and could use the support. Yes, the savior of the universe will come with. Don't you worry. We've got this. I'll bring my big hat too. According to Miss Dorothea, the Nimuli should be working in this area. From off screen, someone says, and we're back, so where do you want the crate? That voice, it's her. Why, thanks, lass. You're always a great help. I'll take it from here, so you can run along and collect your reward. When you have time, come and play some songs at our village again, eh? Nice cape. Ta-da! Go on, then. Nimuli, I've found you at last! Dun-dun-dun-dun. Pathu, good gods, it's been so long. Yay! Huh? It's been so long? That's all you have to say? You vanished with nary a word. No one knew where you were. Do you have any idea how worried I've been? What's this all of a sudden? I feel as if I'm missing something. Battle of the Pout. Battle of the Pout. Over there. So you thought I'd given up music and came all this way to drag me back? It's flattering in a way. That was the original plan anyway, before I learned that you've been dedicating yourself to those who suffered in the calamity, that you've been using music to bring people comfort. Hey Weaver, we're doing the Rising event quest. My father fought and fell at Catano, and when my sickly mother died after that, it made me stop and consider what I truly wanted to achieve with the gifts I have. It didn't take long to arrive at the answer. I wanted to share the joy of music with all who strive to make their way in our calamity-ravaged world. Yes, I understand that now. Yours is a worthwhile calling, and I won't try to convince you to come back. Still, I can't help but feel sad. I had assumed you'd always be there as my rival, but then you gave that up and found another path. Gave up? Hardly. You've always pushed me forward with your relentless pursuit of perfection, and I felt that I needed to find my own sound. One day, I hope to express my experiences on this journey in song, and when I do, you'd better still be there, with your skills sharp as ever. Well then. Spoken like a true rival. All this time I've been running around in circles. It goes without saying that you can do as you please, but I want you to promise me one thing. Wherever you are, stay safe and visit me from time to time. That's two things, but alright, I can do that much. I like Nimuli. Caetsu, meeting Nimuli again has taken a weight off my heart, and I can't thank you enough for accompanying me all this way. Nimuli's not here anymore. We're talking like she's not here. I'm truly glad that the minstrel sent you. Now you're here again. Now then, you and I have some catching up to do. I want to know everything. Where you've been, what you've seen, the songs you've played, as both a friend and a rival. No, absolutely not. I have plans with my raid guild at 8. You've seen Batha Mulko's quest to find her dear friend to a happy conclusion. The Wandering Minstrel will be eager for your report. We did it, everybody! Hey, Yummy! Hope you're doing well. Typical cat behavior. We did it! Welcome back, my friend. By your elated expression, I take it you met with success in your search. The two friends whose paths diverged after the calamity were happily reunited during the Rising, with each gaining newfound understanding for the other. This is a joyous outcome, and I'm glad I entreated your aid. I must say, it is quite fascinating how we define ourselves through our connections. Our endeavors may be our own, and no one else's. Yet, there are often others who walk the self-same path, and their presence can serve to guide and inspire. Be it a shining beacon, a warming flame, or a consuming blaze, how those individuals are perceived may vary, but it is by virtue of their existence that we are able to see where we presently stand. Yes, I believe I have the makings of a new verse, and I owe it to you. If you have time still, I should like to hear your tale in more detail. Will you not join me for the fireworks? Gusagas with the in before. Nah, I just don't like you. Piss off. Why do you think I left and didn't say anything? Erdal says the follow-up quest is the one with the guest star. Okay. We have a moment before the display begins. While we wait, will you not lend an ear to my verse? It is a song of comfort and hope, dedicated to all who forge on in the calamity's wake. That's a very powerful song. It smacked us straight to Gridania. Greetings, warrior of light. This is a world that exists outside your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. It is a pleasure to meet you again. Naoki Yoshida, by the way. As I have in the past, I have beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude, lest you wonder an enchanting concert is to be held at this venue, and I have come to attend it. Music is about enjoying sound. Everyone should be able to enjoy it freely. These are the words of a comrade and composer. Soken? Looking back, I marvel at how long we have been on this journey with you and yours. We have experienced good times and bad, partaken of the sweet and the bitter both. But through it all, ever did music resound, captivating and wondrous. Even as our journey unfolded, many events have taken place in the world beyond, events that shape our values and way of life. I, for one, have changed with them, and I'm quite certain you have as well. So it only follows that this world, too, must undergo change. A transformation driven by our hope that your journey will always be worthwhile. As we forge ahead, nothing would please us more than to continue having you there beside us. Enjoying your adventures freely to the accompaniment of marvelous music. Now, the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. This world shall yet endure, and as we continue on our way, I pray that the notes that resound from each of us shall have occasion to rise together once more in harmony. Till that day, I wish you safe and happy travels. Fare you well. We did the thing! Countless souls abide in this world, and the connections we forge with one another give rise to the symphony of life. In the course of your journeys, you will have heard such music. You yourself have been a performer, creating music with those around you. In recognition of this, I wish to dedicate to you another verse, that your footfalls may resound for all to hear. Boing! Hey, Philippe! On the wind they echo far, the songs of life upon our star. With journeys marked the land abounds, beyond the morrow to resound. Though sun may set and twilight fall, the stars agleam on blackened pall. A song shall e'er light the way, and guide us forth to break of day. As we make our way in the journey of life, we choose with whom we walk. Sometimes, however, someone may appear upon the road unannounced, and we find ourselves taken in directions we have not imagined. For instance, had you not lent young Bathu your aid, she and Animuili would not enjoy the connection they now share. To thus appear before others is your destiny, I dare say, and I cannot help but wonder what you will see and hear in your journeys to come. When next we meet, I pray you will regale me with your tales once more. Hey. Wow. Wind up Wooklamat. Random fun fact, they have mentioned that typically when they give you things like a wind up minion, it usually is something they give about characters that... Like, this is not always true, as far as I know, but to some degree they usually give you the wind up things for characters that are like finished, quote unquote, unquote unquote. So, I mean, it makes sense that you get the wind up Wooklamat at the end of Dawntrail, right? Oh, an additional reward. Prelude's Call. Still savoring the afterglow of the fireworks, are you? You look somewhat dazed, as if you have just awakened from a dream. You actually had a dream, you say? And in it, you met an individual who bore an uncanny resemblance to me. While I know not the significance of your vision, I have an inkling as to this enchanting concert that was mentioned. If you are otherwise unoccupied, would you care to attend it together? Excellent. Let us make our way to Caetsu's amphitheater in Old Gridania at once. Concert. Bum 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 bum. It appears we have arrived during an intermission. You see the piano on the stage? It's big. It is there for one and all to play during the rising. As young Animuili also knew, music is possessed of the power to comfort and inspire. It can even restore faded memories to vibrant life, together with the emotions they once evoked. With these wondrous effects in mind was the piano setup. It is quite inspired, wouldn't you agree? Ah, a performer has taken to the stage. With a big hat. This unmistakable arpeggio. Could it be? This song is familiar to me. The performer could well be an esteemed predecessor of mine. Oh yeah? There's only one way to know for certain. I shall go and speak with him after he has finished playing. Exactly, Yami. There are cases where they just, like, give you a wind-up minion and then, like, it's not the end for that character. Or that it comes weirdly late. Apologies for the wait. My suspicions were correct. Permit me to introduce you to the legendary composer. Nay, it isn't my place to reveal his identity. Not when he has gone to such lengths to remain anonymous, that he might simply delight in music with us. Now, know, however, that you have been touched by his works somewhere out there. This I guarantee. This woman is an accomplished adventurer, and a renowned hero besides. Might you have any words you would like to offer her? Bagag! Greetings, adventurer. Tell me, have you been enjoying the music that colors your journey? This question I also pose to you over yonder. What? It is not only the battles and stories or the music which brings them to life, but how you choose to interact the game that truly shapes the experience. For being part of this final, yet unending fantasy, I give you my heartfelt thanks. As a token of my gratitude, please accept this gift. Oh, and do remember the name Kontiki. It is a little project of mine. Don't mention anything to our minstrel friend, though. It seems you are privy to a secret, but worry not, I'm not one to pry. Now then, enveloped in the warmth of enchanting music, I shall return to my wanderings. After all, the adventure promises to continue for quite some time to come. Quack! We did the thing! And that took, longer than I expected. But, we do have a little bit of time left. Harold says that's Nobuo Uematsu for those who didn't get it. That is a good clarification. Thank you, Harold. Hey, Caitlin. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't think we will do MSQ roulette, after all. So maybe we will just round up a little early, for once. And yeah, for those being like, wait, why didn't but why did we not do Windows? On the Mentor Roulette stream, I randomly got my weekly Windows clear, so it's a little silly to go in again. Lana, oh no, I wanted to do it so much. Man. How about Guild Test Roulette? No thanks. Enjoy, Caitlin. Guild Test Roulette. How about big fishing? That'll take too long. A weekly you mad clear? Yep, just 20-minute adventure. Quick 20-minute adventure, we got this. Exactly, Kylan. Just turbo. Just one bullet. Easy game. It's just Kefka. How hard could it be? Whoop, 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 whoop. But in that case, on that note, if you'd like to be part of the Discord community server, there's a link right there in the chat. There you'll find the weekly schedule where you can see what else is coming up in coming days, usually updated Sunday or Monday. You'll also find the announcement room with links to videos and streams, and I'll put them out. And if you grab the reminder role in the role assignment room, you get a notification whenever I do that. As well as an extra run around 15 minutes before stream starts, you can catch it right when we go live. And if you'd like to support the channel even more directly, you can like over on the YouTube side of things, you know, help with the algorithm and all that. You can follow, you can subscribe, you can become a member, you can super chat, you can cheer, you can do all of that goodness. If you don't like any of that, there is also don't know if I think I might have snuck up on Ariel with that one. There's also the Ko-fi link right there in the chat. It all helps support me in the channel directly, so I can focus on doing stuff like this with all of you without having to worry about the algorithm. So thank you so much for the support. But that'll be it from me tonight. So let's see if we can find someone to raid. Sure hope that they're not all watching something once again. Miabyte is doing Arcadion. Let's go there. I believe it's a normal raid for the first time. Go there. But with that, good night, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where in the world, and hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye!